What's going on, guys? This is the Red Rogue, and today we'll be talking about adding a little eye candy to your user interface. That's right, we'll be looking at the biggest, most standard looking culprits that are separating your UI from having that personal touch you might have always wanted but couldn't figure out how to add. We'll be taking a look at Masque, a simple add-on that can take your UI's visual appearance up a notch, changing it from this to this. Let's get started. As most of you probably already know, I'm quite a fan of UI add-ons, and over the months of doing these videos, I've started getting the itch to find things that will make my UI look exactly the way I want it to. Today's episode is something I'd heard about a couple years back, but didn't realize exactly how much a simple change like this would help. For those who haven't heard of it before, Masque is an add-on that allows you to change the visual styling of your action buttons. Masque inherently works with quite a lot of your mainstream UI button replacement add-ons and buff tracking things such as Bartender, Tell Me When, and Weak Auras. Don't quote me on this one, but basically anything that uses the standard Blizzard buttons inherently should have compatibility with Masque, so a vast majority of add-ons will work in conjunction with it. A lot of folks have also made plugins to allow Masque to work with other add-ons as well though. So for those of you who love Opie as much as I do and want your UI buttons to match it, there is a plugin for it. Okay, so now that I've given somewhat of an exposition of this add-on, I'll show you how supremely easy this thing is to use, which I'll be leaving a link to download it in the description, by the way. You'll simply type /masque into your chat interface. You'll see the Masque skin settings window, and you should be on the global tab. Any and all add-ons you have currently installed that Masque supports will also show up here. However, if you want every single element of your UI to look exactly the same, just stay on the global setting. From here, you'll simply click on the drop-down menu of the Skin tab. As you can see, I installed a metric ton of different ones just to test them out before making this video, so your skin tabs should look a lot smaller. Basically, you should only see Default, Classic, Dream, and Zoomed as the regular options. If you want to get more options, such as the tons of other ones I have to choose from, then you'll have to install the skin pack plugins via a site like CurseForge or WoW Interface. It looks like there are a few less options on WoW Interface, but whichever you prefer, these are both really good places to find some. For example, I'm so far exceptionally partial to the Kaith skin, as it has some nice crisp edges to it and the color of the border matches nicely with my easy frame unit frames and such. You can also adjust the colors of some parts of the Masque skin that you're using. I changed this skin to show that whenever I hit a key associated with an action button, it'll turn opaque yellow. Changing little things like this is super easy in Masque. All you have to do is go back into the skin settings panel by either going to your add-ons page or once again typing in /masque and scrolling down to the colors section. As you can see, there is a variety of color indicators for what action you're trying to do. So for example, the pushed color can be changed just by clicking on the box and moving the color wheel wherever you want and then adjusting the opacity slider. You'll most likely want to leave it slightly opaque so you can see what button you're pressing. If you max out the opacity to 100%, it literally will turn the whole action button whatever color. So if you remember exactly where all your hotkeys are, this might be something you want. Me, personally, it would get a little distracting and would remind me of some sort of nightmarish Trans-Siberian Orchestra Christmas light show thing if I did that. So the less distractions the better for my sake and the sake of whatever dungeon or raid group I'm in. Or you can go super over the top and turn all of your action buttons into playing cards. Because Masque. For those of you wondering, yes, there are quite a few interesting shapes and styles, so you don't have to have just squares if you don't want to. Though I'll give you a heads up on the circle-shaped ones. You might have to search a little bit. Because of the circular ones that I've downloaded so far, quite a few have some icon clipping issues underneath, since the picture is still a square shape, but the edges of the circle don't quite cover it up. That's a bit of a deal breaker for me, but if I find a circular one that doesn't do that, I'll leave a note in the comments or something for those of you who don't think it's hip to be square. I'm actually on the hunt for one because I want to make Opie have circle icons on it because it just seems appropriate to me. Oh right, before I forget, if you do want your UI to have different shapes for certain add-ons, you simply must go select the add-on you want to have a different skin and change the skin in the skin settings for it to whatever you see fit. There are also options for things like a gloss effect, shadow, or backdrops, you can fiddle with those to see if you like the look of anything in particular for your personal setup. Like I said, I'm on the hunt for a circle-shaped one specifically for Opie just because it makes sense for the circle add-on to have circles for the buttons. That's just me though. There are a ton of different mask styles you can get, so I highly recommend searching WoW Interface, CurseForge, or the Twitch client to see what you can find. This is one of those nice add-ons that is super easy to use and understand, and can really give you that nice splash of style / functionality you might have never even thought of adding to your user interface. I hope you folks liked the video. If so, let me know in the comments below, or if you're using Masque already and have any particular skin plugins you want to let other folks know about, comment about that too. This is another one of my latest acquisitions to my overly engineered UI, but a nice UI is one of those things where the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. At least in my opinion. Anyways, I just wanted to say I appreciate you taking the time to check out the channel, or if you've seen any of my other videos, thanks for sticking around. It really does mean a lot to me, and I'm glad the videos are interesting / useful to all of you. Don't be a stranger if you have any questions or comments. I do my best to answer back quickly, and I do new uploads every weekday. Thank you all so much for watching. This is the Red Rogue, and I'll see you guys around.